There's a story out there to say that David Stearns possibly is not a fan of bringing Pete Alonso back. And for me, as a Mets fan, what gave it away? Like any Mets fan at this point, anybody who is shocked at this particular story or rumor or whatever it is, you're not watching because David Stearns dragged this negotiation out last offseason. You had Scott Boras, who was looking at other teams to be able to have leverage to go back to the Mets. So you had two sides that were kind of dragging this thing out, but David Stearns was dragging it out like, I think we can be able to figure it out and find somebody else to play first base or DH. And Steve Cohen said, fuck that. Like, you're not going to not have the guy that's on the precipice of being the all-time home runs leader for the franchise and being a homegrown guy not come back here. So we're going to have to figure this out. Get out the way and let me deal with it. Now, we're year 2 into negotiations. Can we honestly say that David Stearns is going to operate or negotiate in good faith with Pete Alonso at this point? Pete Alonso had a great year, but are you going to extend him past 6 years or 5 years, knowing that he's not a great defender? He was rated as the 32nd best first baseman in baseball, which means that he was dead last in regards to defensive rating. So when people say, oh, well, Pete, he played all 62 or 162, what the fuck does that mean? I don't care if you play 162. That's great. Shouts to you. But what does that do in regards to your ability to be able to play the position adequately, your instincts, your ability to throw the ball to a guy that's covering first base, the decision making of where you're positioned and lined up? Pete Alonso tends to not make the easy plays and then gets sandlot fucking dirty, look like Smalls out there when it's the difficult plays. And if you don't know how to make the easy plays, then make sure you make the decision, you and Scott Boras, to tell whatever teams that are involved and interested in your services that you are willing to play DH. Because I think that every team going forward is going to look at him as a DH. So for David Stearns, the question is, do you want a Pete Alonso? Because defensively, if you're trying to get better defensively, then Pete Alonso doesn't help you defensively. So do you try to convince Pete Alonso to come back as a full-time DH while you can go and get a guy like a Yandy Diaz or somebody else to be able to play first?